about the franchise and the jokes that they were willing to write in that show.
Dude.
Because it definitely, like, pushes the line. The whole China bit, I was like, bro, what?
Dude, the franchise has been...
It's surprisingly good.
It's been legit, yeah.
Surprisingly.
Yeah, I don't know.
Sam Mendes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on now.
I guess that's... He made the one movie that you guys didn't like. The Light movie. It's about making movies.
Empire of Light?
Empire of Light.
I never saw it.
You didn't like it very much.
Yeah, it wasn't what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
He made 2 Bond movies I like in 1917.
Luke's microphone just completely on the other side of the room.
I'm watching the Chiefs, okay? I'm a little distracted.
Fair enough.
I feel like he also made something else that I really like.
He's made... I mean, he's
good. I just didn't think...
filmmaker.
Like, if you look at what the subject of the show is, it's kind of like, will this work?
Right.
And it does, like, really well. I love that, like, each episode... I guess we're doing this now. Each episode is, like, a different look at, like, filmmaking.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool. Like,
Production, yeah.
The most recent episode is about, like, product placement. It's so funny.
Send those tractors back.
I texted you the line. It was like, why? What is it? Why is there a Chinese tractor in Sector 9 or something like that?
Yeah.
It was, why would there be a Chinese tractor in the Sector 9 cargo bay? It's like, what? But within the context of the show, it makes perfect sense. And you're like, oh, okay.
Oh, he made Jarhead and Road to Perdition.
Oh, wow. I didn't realize he did Jarhead. But if you're not watching the franchise, this is my endorsement. You should watch it.
It's over on Max. I'm really enjoying it as well. I'm very curious to see what people outside of video filmmaking production think of it. Like,
yeah. There's
what a general audience, if they really understand what's going on, or if it's just maybe pretty set dressing is enough. But like, if you're watching and you're paying attention, you know what's going on. Like, it's all very smartly scripted.
I will say, like, there's some pretty crude stuff in it, so if that's not really your jam,
Yeah,
like,
there is.
just be aware. Like, I think the
What if it's
Gurgler,
your jelly?
the Gurgler episode with Nick Kroll.
It's Nick Kroll.
You just have to know what you're getting into
He's
with
playing Nick Kroll, so...
Yeah. Some of it's pretty funny, though. I thought.
Yeah.
I thought the bit in the trailer was hilarious. What was the bit from that episode you were telling me you thought I'd laugh at?
Oh, no. That had to be at least 2 episodes ago.
Yeah. That was last week's episode.
Last week's episode.
Yeah.
Was it with the Gurgler?
That was episode 4.
I'm going to have to think about it.
Okay.
I'll come back to you.
Because there's a couple bits in there that are pretty funny. But...
Yeah. Good show. Enjoying it.
Yeah.
It's over on Max. So.
Definitely.
Yeah. What's up, fanboys and fangirls? We're back with another episode of the Fanboy Show. Luke will be...
Back with another episode of What the Fanboy Show.
Luke will be halfway here tonight.
That's what you sounded like.
I know. I'm sorry. As he's watching the Chiefs, hopefully beat the Buccaneers.
You know, we'll see.
Fingers crossed.
We're 7-0, so now I'm at the point where I'm just like waiting for the first
Yeah,
loss.
when
So you
is
kinda,
when
like,
is the loss?
You
gonna
want
happen?
it before the postseason. You're like, you just want it to happen. At a certain point, you're like, all right, I need you guys to lose.
If it doesn't happen before the Panthers game, it'll 100% be the Panthers game.
Somehow. But yeah.
That's the loss that puts any coach on the hot seat, except Andy Reid.
Right.
I can't remember, though, if we play the Bills before that. Because we always lose to the Bills.
In the regular
season.
Yeah. And then the playoffs, it's like, oh, never mind.
And that's when everybody goes, the Bills are the best team. And Chiefs fans are like, okay.
We'll let you believe that.
Honestly, it's kind of nice to get the target off your back, so.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah, so we've got quite a bit of things to talk about tonight. Luke, you got some trailers for us over there?
I have 3.
Sweet. That's better than none.
It's true. First one, Wonder Man. This is the new MCU Disney Plus show starring Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
I somehow missed this, so...
Dog, DeAndre Hopkins is unbelievable.
Man, I didn't even watch it.
Dude,
Rewind.
What a catch. What a catch.
Rewind. It is... I don't know, maybe... Oh my god.
He's
Maybe
so
Tyler
good.
can explain it more. He knows a little more about the character. I don't think it's really a trailer worth watching.
Yeah,
I
it's like
could
a
not-
short tease.
It's a minute long. I couldn't hear a line of dialogue because the music's so loud.
Yeah, the mixing for the audio in is
Interesting.
bad. But yeah, so Wonder Man, like it's Yahya Abdul-Mateen is the lead. He's an actor who is reading. He reads for this character Wonder Man and gets the role, and is struck by some energy that gives him superpowers of the character he was going to be playing.
Wonder Man.
And so he has to be. They just encourage him to be like, well, just be the hero you were going to be playing anyways. And he becomes this superhero, but really he just wanted to be an actor, and it's kind of like on the nose. But I love Yahya Abdul-Mateen. I think this looks interesting. I'll thumbs up it for what it is. I mean, the audio's bad.
Yeah. Cool. I like the concept, but it's just not a good trailer. Maybe it's because I was using laptop speakers.
I don't know. We've heard trailers sound way better than that.
I watched the Skeleton Crew trailer right before that, and it didn't. Same company too.
Yeah.
They're all Disney.
So
It was sounded fine. So.
Yeah, I'm surprised though that this is actually coming out because I feel like it had like a really rough development at a certain point.
Yahya replaced somebody.
Okay. Yeah, because like this was announced several years ago that they were going to be doing this, and I mean they can churn out those Disney Plus shows.
I feel like Disney Plus has kind of gone through the growing pains of figuring out what they really want to do with it, right?
Yeah.
In terms of the MCU shows that are on Disney Plus, because they threw a bunch of money at things right away.
Early on, yeah.
And they're like, wait, maybe this isn't the best way of doing it. Scale it back. They're figuring out that sweet spot. So I don't know. Cool. They've had some success recently. Loki season 2 was good.
I never watched it.
I'll talk about Agatha here in a bit. So.
Oh, there it is. Touchdown number 1 for Hopkins. Way to go, bud.
Beautiful. I have him in one of my dynasties, and it's one that I'm like blowing up my team. Remember the Titans? Fantastic. Because he was traded from the Titans.
Here's my other Wonder Man take.
Yeah.
Why am I getting Trevor Slattery, Ben Kingsley's character, for the third time?
He's in this as well?
That's what I said. I was like, why is he here?
We've seen him sooner than we've seen Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
Maybe Shang-Chi will show up.
That'd be awesome. I'd rather just, have the main thing be about him, though. I want his second movie. And now that guy's directing Spider-Man. Man, I do really love Spider-Man, and I liked all 3 of those movies. But I want Shang-Chi too. And I don't need Trevor Slattery, man. And his little flying pig is back or whatever.
Oh, yes.
But,
of course.
Yeah, looks interesting.
Okay.
I had already mentioned it. Skeleton Crew.
Yep.
Star Wars.
Star Wars
show?
Goonies.
I think, it's a show, right?
Yeah.
Man, I've got to be honest. I don't like what I'm seeing with this.
I liked listening to... I was like sitting over here when Luke was watching this, and it just cracked me up every time, and like a new thing came on screen.
It's just the trailer playing. It's just, I hate that elephant.
I hate that music.
They've got to have something that's going to be a toy.
Yeah.
In every show, it's Baby Yoda.
Dude, I watched this trailer over the weekend, and all I could think about when I watched it was like, this feels like a group of kids found Star Wars. And I don't like that at all. It's like they went through the wardrobe and they ended up in the Star Wars universe. Yeah. And I just think it's super strange.
I said in the first trailer, the suburbs feels...
It feels weird.
Like suburbs do feel weird.
It doesn't fit... Well, in the second trailer, have you watched it? Mm-hmm. Yeah. It just, like, I just don't think it feels at all like it fits within the greater Star Wars thing.
It's an interesting challenge to try and undertake. To make something... as modernly relevant as suburbia like fit in Star Wars. Like, you think about it and you're like, yeah, that, like, there would be planets where that is how it works, right? Like, I get that. I can fathom that, but it looks too much like Earth.
I'm seeing driveways and lawns of grass.
Yeah. It's like, again, logically, yeah, I get that there is probably
there would be an equivalent.
There would be an equivalent. I get it, but it feels not so far away anymore.
Anyway, I hope it's great.
Yeah.
I always come back around to the fact that I hated Andor at the beginning, and now it's the best thing that they've put out on Disney Plus. It's just one of the best things Disney has put out.
Yeah,
just straight up.
I like this trailer. I do think the fact that I have like a 9-year-old plays into that. I'm excited that I can sit down and most likely convince her to watch this and watch it with her.
It kind of just makes me want to watch The Goonies.
That's fair.
Which is a classic, so.
Look, if that's not on your have to show your child, if The Goonies isn't on your like to be watched list for your kid, then we need to talk about. But you don't have that. That's my responsibility.
Oh yeah.
And Tyler's eventually as well.
But at what age? Because they've got to be old enough.
That's the thing.
That it's funny, but young enough that it's still like a little creepy.
Yeah. I think like 11, 12 maybe.
That's when I watched Lord of the Rings for the first time.
That, yeah.
Only because
I'm
my
kind of
brother was
surprised.
13.
I'm kind of surprised at how early my sister watched Lord of the Rings. 'Cause she would have been 2 years younger than me, and we watched those like when they came out. So
yeah, I mean Logan was 13, so I got grandpaed in. Grandfathered in.
Yeah.
Grandpaed in.
You got brought along. Cool. You said you had one more?
Squid Game Season 2. We've gotten a couple teasers for this. This is the first full trailer. It looks really good.
Good. That's awesome. I haven't seen this trailer yet, so
I don't remember.
I was really worried about it.
Yeah. Our lead is back, and he is back in the game, and he's kind of doing whatever he can to get people to stop playing. And it doesn't look like anybody wants to stop.
Yeah.
I'm just ready for more Squid Game. It's honestly one of the best shows on Netflix, if you can manage it, because it is pretty hard to watch sometimes.
It can be.
But man, it was such a surprise, and I'm ready for more. So, bring it on.
Yeah, I think they have a lot of opportunity with puzzles and just group dynamics. I mean, Squid Game is so much like it's a weird Lord of the Flies with rules, right? Like there are rules, but just watching how those social dynamics change throughout the first season was like just really, really cool. And I'm curious, like you said, with him coming back and being kind of the opposite, trying to not play, get people not to play. Sounds like a really fascinating position to take. So
I didn't watch this trailer because I've never watched the show.
What are you, not a sadist? Come on. Luke and I are over here like, we like watching people suffer.
Well, no, I don't like doing that.
We don't. But it's a show.
I like
it's
good
fake.
stories. And most of the time, if it's horror or thriller or action, there's people suffering in it at some point.
Truth.
It's not the part I like.
It's the overcoming, right?
I'm not out here watching Saw, man.
Yeah, fair enough. Or Terrifier 3.
Yeah. Well,
hey, that thing broke $50 million.
Congrats. Good for you.
Now we'll get 13
They even had
spin-offs.
They even had Art the Clown ring the Nasdaq bell on Halloween.
Crazy. What a wave to be riding. I'm legit happy for those filmmakers.
Good for that team.
Yeah. To be able to find any success in Hollywood is hard.
To find it mutilating humans and children is another thing.
And then next is the Blood and Honey Poo-niverse.
Oh yeah, we got a new picture from that too.
I saw like a little video of the animatronic Pinocchio.
Yeah.
That is what fuels my nightmares.
Did you see it?
Yes. Yeah. I just closed Twitter.
You were like, nope.
I'm done. I'm not getting back on this app until tomorrow because I want to be able to sleep tonight. I don't like Pinocchio. I don't like any version of Pinocchio.
It's not even stop motion, man.
I still think the original's scary. It's mainly the Island,
yeah.
not the puppet, but dude.
I will say
that.
of everything they've made, that this Pinocchio thing is the creepiest looking thing they've done.
I don't know. Did you see Tom Hanks in that live action remake?
Oh, I was talking about the Blood and Honey people.
I know.
But also, yes, I did. I didn't watch it, but yes, I saw the trailer. I watched the trailer and I was like,
nope.
I won't watch this.
Don't
This
need that.
looks bad.
On the flip side, the Netflix Pinocchio
Guillermo's
is good. It's my favorite version. So
I'll never watch it.
I know.
Sorry, Guillermo.
I'll get Tyler to watch it at some point.
I'll be honest. I don't really care about Pinocchio that much either, but I'll check it out if you could convince me one day.
I'll work you.
Just throw it on with your kid in the room.
Yeah, that'll go over well.
It's a children's story. It's about love and happiness, isn't it? It's a fairy tale.
I don't think that one is.
I mean,
There's only one demon in it.
My kid does like scary stuff, so
I think it is at age appropriate, right? So you have to know when. Like, I think it would be a great children's movie, probably slightly older than what you would show your, I don't know.
Bryn's 3.
Like a Disney.
She's ready, right?
It's not a Disney movie. Maybe 6.
Moana too.
Like, I think Claire could watch it no problem.
Dude, we're going to see Moana 2 in theaters, and Bryn reminds me every day, Daddy, Moana 2 is going to be in the movie theater soon. I'm like, yeah. She's like, Thanksgiving? I'm like, yep. She's like, okay. Do we have tickets? No, child. We've not bought tickets to Moana 2
call your child
yet.
child?
Sometimes.
So
I think you could actually, if you look through my phone right now.
What are places?
Yeah.
See, I text Dana this morning. What did I text her? I said, oh, we were driving to daycare. I said, Bryn just took her shoes off. I'm going to fight our kid. So I had to stand in the rain and put my kid's shoes back on this morning. So that was great. It was raining pretty good. I was drenched all morning at work. It was awesome.
At least we're getting rain.
Yeah, that's a win.
We need it.
Dude, it's been raining for like 36 hours straight.
It's crazy.
I love it.
I'm worried I'm going to need a build arc.
You didn't do that yet?
No, dude.
My
child,
child.
because if I don't make it to the polls, everybody's gonna look up my stuff. Well, I'd be like, "You didn't vote."
You'd be fine
what?
if you lived on the second level.
What?
He hasn't voted yet.
I haven't
so
voted. Tomorrow's election day, and if I don't make it tomorrow,
we're all gonna know.
Everybody's gonna go look up my name on the voting website. They're gonna be like, "You piece of crap, didn't vote."
Our candidate lost because
I didn't build a boat.
Wait, people can do that?
Yeah.
People can look up your voting registration?
They can look up to see if you voted.
If you voted.
Oh, interesting.
Not who you voted for.
I'm gonna look up Tyler
That
right
is
now.
secret.
I'm registered. I'm not voting tomorrow, so
Why not?
never voted.
I'm not voting tomorrow either.
You
but
should,
it's because I voted last week. So.
Yeah.
You should do it.
Yeah.
It's kind of fun.
It doesn't sound fun at all.
Last presidential election, I lived in Park City.
Oh.
I voted in 5 minutes.
I bet that went so fast.
It was awesome. I went before work and I was just like, well, let's see what the lines are like. I walked in and they're like, oh, yeah, ID, over there. Boop, 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 boop. Left. It was amazing. They gave me a pin. I had a free pin. It's still in my car.
Oh,
That actually might convince me to do it.
If I ever need to write something, I have my voting pin.
Well, yeah, no, my one pitch towards people who don't want to vote or don't think that they should vote is just that even if you're not voting for in the presidential election or you think that that's not worth your time, there's lots of local races that are happening, people who like judges who can be reaffirmed for additional terms or not. And just being, I think, at least a little bit invested in your community is always good. So,
Maybe next time.
Maybe just do a little bit of civic engagement.
Oh.
Doesn't have to be voting, but it's a right we have. So, take advantage of it.
Good pitch.
All right, there we go.
I've not done any research on anything, so I'm going in there and checking a box like I did in high school. Doing a Scantron test.
Right.
It's like, what's the answer?
Like,
C. I don't know.
guess.
C is the best guess is what I've heard, so that's what I'm rolling with. I think it's B now, though. And it's probably changed.
Have they changed?
I thought they did.
Maybe it's just better to be random.
I'm assuming they have AI to fix all that.
Oh, that's a good point.
Probably.
They can like track those trends and make sure they're changing it. Gosh, man.
Okay, well,
Computers are smart.
we have a few things to review this week. Luke went and watched Conclave. You want to talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, that was a last second hurrah.
Well, I was thinking about seeing Here,
Oh yeah, that's out.
and then it's getting terrible reviews. And I was like, okay.
Something about staring at one camera angle for 2.5 hours just sounds really unappealing to me.
Bold strategy, but they did it.
Bummer, Kelsey.
Maybe not successfully.
Yeah, so I just looked up the Conclave showtimes because I'd seen the trailer and thought it looked good.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, let's go see this one. And it was a great decision because it was really good.
Good.
If you don't know what this is about, the Pope dies and Ray finds...
This is based on a true story?
No.
Okay, cool.
Based on a book. Well, I mean, I guess you could say loosely based on a story. A pope has died before, and they do a conclave.
But it's not like a very specific. This is
guy.
what happened when Pope
No,
Benedict passed away or whatever.
This is, I'd say, a historical fiction.
Okay, cool. I'm down.
Pope dies. Ray Fiennes is in charge of putting together this conclave.
To nominate
to get the next pope, and secrets start coming out.
Oh.
He's doing some investigating. He's learning some things, and it's just kind of
Like a drama?
their relationships, like all these popes, drama together and learning about each other and picking the pope. And this is what I'll say. If you're Catholic, don't go see it. I don't think you'll appreciate the things that happen in it. But also, I'm not Catholic, so I don't know. That also being said, the only movie I feel like I can compare it to, and I'm not saying it's better, is Oppenheimer.
Oh, wow.
And that is because, like, Oppenheimer is a bunch of nerds just building a bomb.
Yeah.
And it is one of the most intense movies you'll see. And this is a bunch of religious dudes talking about their beliefs and going, should we pick this guy or this guy? Is this one worse or is this one worse? Because we're losing.
Mm-hmm.
And it's one of the most intense movies you'll see.
Dang.
That's awesome.
I think a big part of that is the soundtrack. Whereas, like, in Oppenheimer, the soundtrack was this, like, rolling intensity throughout. And then, like, this is, like, it'll be really quiet. And then it's just...
My goodness.
The strings come in nice and quiet, and the tension just rises, and you're just like, man, what's gonna happen? We're just walking down a hall. What's down there? Like, it almost you're just
waiting for the turn to a horror film.
Scary
It
things.
almost feels like that sometimes.
That's awesome.
It's
actually.
like, is a demon gonna show up in this?
That's a really cool, like, style choice.
Yeah, but also did not know this going in, and I learned it because of the trailers I watched before the movie. This movie's PG.
Oh, really?
Interesting.
I just assumed it was R-rated.
Or PG-13 at least.
At least.
Yeah.
But then, like, I'm getting, like, the Dog Cop movie. What is the dog?
Oh,
dog body?
Dog Man.
Yeah, that was one of the trailers I got. I was like, what is this? I was like, am I in the wrong theater? And then, like, not even 10 minutes later, some old people came in. They're like, is this the Conclave showing? And somebody else was like, yeah. I was just like, okay, I'm in the right place.
I kind of love that. That's
But
awesome.
yeah, it's PG.
You don't see many movies like that are PG.
Especially like the Oscar bait.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Major acting showcase, writing showcase movies.
Yeah, that's really cool.
It wouldn't surprise me if there's a bit of a decision to lean into some of that like Angel Studios would put out like a PG-13 live action thing with maybe not a huge actor, but
a recognizable
name, and they'll make it PG so that you can take the family to it. And I wonder if, despite the fact that this is probably not a family movie in the traditional sense, you may get some of that audience that is more accustomed to going to a quote unquote religious film, as a family or as a group.
Yeah, but I mean, also, and I thought about it like just context. They're a bunch of cardinals and priests. They're not going to be yelling "you" and all this stuff while they're in the middle of.
I mean, if A24 made this movie, they would.
Listen, if A24 this movie, there definitely would have been a demon at the end of it.
That's true.
Because they don't know how to do anything else.
That's true.
But yeah, the score, honestly, my favorite of the year so far.
Dang, that's awesome.
I thought it was awesome. The other thing, that just washes over you, man. It's the way the movie looks.
Mm-hmm.
It's just beautiful throughout. Every single frame you see could be a poster for the movie.
That's awesome.
It felt like there was a lot of like center framing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh man, there's one shot, and it's like 7 cardinals sitting in like a auditorium like thing. There's like theater seats.
Oh, sure.
And they're kind of spread throughout, but the outsides of the theater are all completely dark where the lights are off, and in the middle where they're sitting the lights are on, and they're just right in the middle of the screen. I'm just looking at it. I'm like, oh, don't forget to pay attention to what they're saying because it's so pretty. Like the colors are like red and white, which they're wearing that most of the time too.
Yeah.
But I felt like that color just kept going throughout,
and
just I constantly was going, oh wow, that's so cool. And then once again the score is playing, and you're just like, oh yes, this is so good. And then there's the matter of like the story, and the performers they're just so good. Everybody's good. But I'd say the main 3 guys, being Ray Fiennes, Stanley Tucci, and John Lithgow, are just awesome.
Nice. Oh, I forgot that. Yeah, Lithgow's in this.
I
haven't seen a trailer in a minute, so.
Yeah, and then like, it starts off and somebody like gives this little rumor to Ray Fiennes, and he's investigating it, and it just like more and more kind of pops up throughout the movie, and I just felt like every single situation rose until eventually you get to the end, and it's just like, oh man, hope that was the right choice.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I wasn't surprised that I liked it, but I was pretty blown away with how much I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Especially because just with Oscar bait, I feel like you never really know how much you'll like it. You'll be like, okay, it was good, but did I like it?
Yeah.
Did you see that this is considered a thriller?
No.
Yeah. It's considered a thriller, conspiracy thriller.
Okay, yeah.
That's pretty cool.
I would...
That fits with how you described it, though.
Yeah.
So, that's awesome.
I
was just looking through, like, some stills from it.
Yeah.
On my Letterboxd, I just wrote, like, I'm really curious to see how many Oscar noms it gets. Because I feel like...
What do you think
it could really be anything. Just like, okay, yeah.
So, like,
sure.
If it were to win...
I'm not going to dispute that.
If it were to win for one category, what do you think its strongest category would be?
I really think it's... I would say score.
Okay.
And the other one, I would say cinematography. It has a super strong chance.
Nice.
Obviously, with cinematography, it's competing with Dune, which is sci-fi. But this is the complete opposite.
Yeah.
And, like, they're totally different. They're shot so different.
Right.
Which
did you look up the director?
Contrast. No, I don't. Well, I did look it up, but I don't remember it.
He directed All Quiet on the Western Front.
There we go. Okay. That makes sense.
Was it the same guy? The score, was it the same guy?
Working on it. Composer. Do you know the guy's name? Volker.
Verlochten or something?
It is the same score. Volker Bertelmann.
Yeah. Man, dude, it was so good. Oh.
Cinematographer was
Was it the All Quiet on the Western Front guy? Probably.
No.
Be this team, yeah.
No. It's the director of Jackie. That one was nominated.
Oh, yeah.
And a movie called A Prophet. A lot of stuff I've not heard of.
Acting, it's so tough too because it's like not everything's come out yet.
Right.
Yeah.
But I give it a fanboy worthy. Mainly the Catholics. Well, I think they'll be pretty turned off by it if they're.
Depends. I feel like Catholics have
They're used
stereotypically
to being,
like thick skin and
and they're used to being put in the negative light as well.
Yeah.
Like just for, history.
Yeah.
I'm watching it with a Mennonite mindset too, so little different.
For sure.
Cool.
Well, that's neat. It's on my short list. I don't have time, but I'm gonna try and find time to get out and watch that one.
I'd say if you like watching the Oscar movies, if you feel like you could watch this one now, you don't need to wait for the list. It'll probably be on.
It'll probably be cool.
Dude, that's an awesome feeling when you watch something and you're like, yeah, I'll hear about this one later.
If it's not, I'm just gonna call a snub now.
All right.
Because there's no way there's 10 movies that were better than this one this year. For that audience.
Is Ralph Fiennes going to get a Best Actor nom?
I think so.
Is he...
I think he could.
Okay, cool.
I thought he was super good.
He's in the mix.
be
I mean, he's
interesting.
always awesome.
Yeah.
So, it wouldn't surprise me even not having seen it. So, nice. Hopefully that one comes to a streamer. That does sound really interesting. Like, it's weird, but the thing that interests me the most is, based on it being about the Pope and the conspiracies that surround that, and then it's like, oh, but it's also PG. So I'm like, wait, what is the conspiracy? Like, I just find that fascinating.
Yeah. Not all conspiracies are 13
Gotta think
plus.
history of Catholicism.
Well, cool. Real quick, I'll talk about Agatha All Along. I watched that. I finished that this week. They had the 2 episode finale. Was on Wednesday. So I've talked about it here and there over the course of the last couple episodes. Overall, I think that this is a really ideal, like this feels like a really ideal Disney Plus Marvel spinoff series for me. It is a small, very contained story with a character who was interesting in, but didn't get a ton of screen time. Was kind of a pivotal character in another more mainline MCU property. But you don't need to know anything outside of what was in that first property, which is WandaVision.
I was like, why are you being secretive?
I'm sorry. Yeah,
Comicbook.com with your
WandaVision.
4 paragraphs before you reveal what you're talking about.
My bad. Other than WandaVision, you don't need to know anything else about the MCU. And even that, it's
you don't need it.
You don't need it.
They're going to fill you in anyway.
Yeah, they fill you in. There's some stuff with, like, because one of the characters is Billy.
From Stranger Things?
From Stranger Things. From
WandaVision. Stranger Things joke in the franchise. Wild behavior. Wild behavior. Sorry, carry on.
No, I think that it's either 2 episodes too long, and there's just some things in the middle that could have been cut or abbreviated, or what is happening in the middle, kind of the meat of what these characters are doing on the Witch's Road is it just kind of gets repetitive. It's like 3 episodes are kind of the same. It's the same thing. It's a premise of there's a challenge. They're going down the road. There's a challenge that presents itself, and they have to solve a problem. Like they get locked in a room, and they have to solve a problem. And each one reveals something unique about the characters, which is cool. But it does feel very samey. So what I would say to anyone who's thinking about watching this is just be prepared to like. You might enjoy the situations they're in, but like there's kind of a reward at the end of that. I think the ending of this show pays off what all it's been setting up. So it's got pretty unique characters. Really, I pulled it up here. Let me open it. Catherine Hahn is great. She's just tons of energy. She's just fun to watch, no matter what she's doing. In this, Joe Locke is Billy / Teen. For the first 3 episodes, you don't know. He has a spell put on him, so he can't. Whenever he tries to say his name, he just mumbles. That's how they try and keep it a secret.
That sounds really stupid.
Well, luckily they don't let it go on too long.
That's good.
And it's kind of like Agatha figures it out fairly quickly, even before the audience is revealed. Yeah. So, I really don't consider that a spoiler.
Well, then they give him his suit and all that stuff too.
Yeah. I think the other standout actress in this is Aubrey Plaza. She gets to play Rio, who is someone who has a history with Agatha beyond. Just what's happening in this show. Her character is really interesting, and there's a lot of tension, even some sensual tension between her and Agatha. Like it's kind of they just have fun playing with it, and when it's all said and done, like there's a really satisfying arc there for that relationship. There's kind of 3
I've seen
other witches who hang out.
It's really interesting to reveal this character that way, but I don't know if
in the comics.
Yeah,
very
her character is tied to
Thanos
and Deadpool, right?
It's so weird. It's just weird timing.
I just saw the tweet if I would have been Thanos, I probably would have gotten the Infinity Stones.
Agree.
I understand him now.
I feel you, dog.
Yeah. So there are the 3 other witches who are kind of just along for the ride. I think they're okay. Some of them have a little more talent's not the right word. Some of them are just more fun to watch than others.
Yeah.
But none of them are really on screen for that much time. It doesn't really feel like you're missing much even when they're not on screen.
Does Billy feel like he fits? Because I kind of feel like based on everything I've seen people tweet, thread, based on what you're saying, does he only fit as the connective tissue between her and Wanda, or does he have his own journey that he goes on?
He is very important to the story.
Okay, cool.
Yes. And the kind of thematically, he's important to Agatha beyond just the fact of
the relationship
with Wanda. That it's an important part of their relationship, and they talk about it. But Agatha has her own secrets that, make hanging out with him more impactful by the end.
Okay.
So I think they do a pretty good job with that. The last thing I think I'll say is it feels I don't know what the budget on this was. There are some portions, especially the middle bit, that really does. It can start to feel like a little bit of this was shot on a volume.
Yeah.
The budget doesn't feel like they were given enough to really go out and do something, but at the same time, I think it kind of works. It doesn't feel like they overspent on it, which I appreciate. Now, if I learned that the budget for this was $120 million and this is what we got, then yeah, maybe a little more. Come on now.
I saw a thing that was like highlighting the sets for it. I don't know if I find it. I'll send it to
There
you.
are some really good sets. And they do some fun things with the challenges. It's magic, and so they have costume changes all the time. Like they have their normal garb that they're going through this walking the road with, but then whenever they get into a challenge, they're in like era appropriate aesthetic clothing and things like that. So that's all pretty fun. Music I thought was fine. I wouldn't say anything really stood out except for the Witch's Road song, which definitely, if you're hearing it all over social media, you may get tired, but I think as it's integrated into the show, is done really well. And it's not just a song for them to sing. There's thematic ties to why are they singing it, how is it relevant, yada yada yada. So overall, I'm gonna give this probably like a Matthew McConaughey. It's better than I expected. Probably not for everyone, but it itches, or I think it knows exactly what it is, and it does that well. I think this is a good property, good story, good little series for Disney Plus. Marvel, not too connected to the MCU. You can kind of watch it as a one-off thing.
Good Halloween season.
Good, yeah. Time of year releasing like that was all really well done. Probably not one I'll necessarily rewatch, but I haven't rewatched any of the Disney Plus shows.
Yeah.
So the only one I'm really planning on rewatching, and it's not a Marvel thing, is Andor right before season 2 comes out.
In like 4 years or something.
Yeah, right. But
that's when I'll check it out too.
So yeah, there's my review of Agatha All Along. Better than I expected.
Nice.
That's a pretty good endorsement.
I'm glad you somebody's keeping up with the
MCU
Disney Plus.
Really, it's we all really have Stephanie to thank, because she.
Oh yeah.
And not that she would probably be like, oh, this is like, I have to watch it or yada yada yada, but just it's a nice thing. Look, when you get married and you've been married for 10 plus years, you gotta find those things to just you can do together, right? And so like this was a nice. We get home from Wednesday night stuff. We can sit down, watch a quick episode.
Yeah.
Before bed, it was nice
to wind down.
We always like finding those shows.
Wednesday nights and Sunday nights.
She's not watching.
She don't watch Penguin?
She's not watching The Penguin.
Oh, bummer.
I told her I think she'd enjoy it, but it is much heavier subject matter, and
especially the last
not that like
episode.
House of the Dragon isn't. So
I'm not caught up.
I don't
so
know.
You learn a little bit about Oswald.
Ozzy.
Latest episode.
Nice. I'm looking for. The finale's this upcoming weekend, right?
Yeah, there's one more.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'll be all caught up and ready to hopefully talk about it Monday.
Sweet.
I'll stay up Sunday night to watch it. Dude, I've been falling asleep during Sunday Night Football at like 9:50. Dude,
no. You're getting old.
I am.
Old.
But I'll stay up to
watch
watch
the games have just been boring.
That's also
No,
probably a
yeah.
big part of it. Watching Sam Darnold throw picks directly to people nobody's in the area is pretty exhausting. But should we jump into some news?
Yeah, Tyler, what do you got for news over there? It's been a little while since you've spoken.
There's
so.
some
Tyler calls it on
stories.
Sunday night, the snooze.
The snooze, that's right. There's a decent bit of news this week, I'd say. Ridley Scott is developing a new Alien film.
Yep.
He confirmed.
Is this separate from the Alien Romulus sequel?
I assume so, because I think that's the same creative team from Romulus is back for another one.
But is it not the Prometheus?
I don't think they've said anything.
It's
I wasn't sure.
Prometheomulus.
I mean, look, I'd be
I
down.
Because if it's a sequel to Prometheus and Alien Covenant, I'm in. Let's finish it off. If it's just another Alien movie,
Yeah.
Dude, he's just doing whatever he wants at this point.
he literally does. He makes 4 movies a year. And
we,
always does what he wants.
I think I've talked about this with Ridley before. Like, the guy's like 86. He's in his grandpa years.
He's just making whatever he wants, man.
He's putting newspapers in Gladiator too.
Just make. I did hear that story, and I can't wait to see it.
Wait, what?
Apparently, there's like a scene where someone's reading like a newspaper like thing. In
He
Gladiator.
wanted that time travel bit to stay, dude. That's
funny.
crazy. I'll do a couple more here before we. I'll do a couple more movie things. John Krasinski will be reprising his role as Jack Ryan in a movie with Amazon.
That's right.
Cool.
So that's a cool little like capstone to that show, which I think is neat.
It's a good show.
I was gonna say I know like Luke really likes the show. My mother-in-law really likes the show, so that's really cool for fans of that. And then last movie thing I have, and I know there's a bunch more out there, but Eddie Redmayne said that the Fantastic Beasts franchise is likely over.
Dead. Dead.
Yeah, that thing is dead, and we've all known that for a long time. But it's funny that made the news this week.
Yeah.
Nobody thought we were getting more of that, especially the moment they announced a new Harry Potter TV show.
Yeah, as soon as they announced the TV show, it was like,
and Fantastic Beasts is gone.
Honestly, just after the ending of whatever the third one was.
I still have not watched that movie.
It ended.
Yeah.
Yes, it could have kept going, and they obviously wanted it to, but the good guys beat the bad guys. Okay. It ended.
It was such a like, we have to have an ending here because we don't know we're gonna get another one.
Yeah.
Right? Like it didn't.
We have too many controversies. We need to make sure.
It was not a satisfying ending. That's what was most disappointing with it. Was just how meh that ending felt.
Yeah,
I remember liking it.
Dan and I still have not watched it.
I liked the movie overall. I liked each of those movies.
Was that movie Johnny Depp? Who was it?
No,
it's Mads.
That's right.
Mads Mikkelsen.
I remember really liking him too.
Yeah. No, it just
Colin
felt.
Farrell was still the best one.
All 3 movies has 3 different people playing him. Yeah.
Which I honestly think is kind of cool.
Yeah. It's all by like happenstance, but it turned out cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A really weird way of it all happening.
My other stories are video game related, so I'll let one of you guys.
I don't have any news stories this week. I was a slacker.
Luke, there's 2 big gaming news stories this week, I think.
Oh, what did I miss?
Oh, what's your movie story?
Takashi Yamazaki is directing the next Godzilla movie.
Yes.
Oh,
He
yeah.
did -1.
Yep. That's
So-
a good one.
Godzilla fans rejoiced around the world.
The writer, director,
VFX
coordinator, and editor of -1.
Do you think this movie will get $20 million instead? Or maybe like Sundays off?
If I had to bet, it's probably Sundays off.
Probably. But you have to work all the way through the night on Saturday night.
Yeah, your Friday, when you come in to work on Friday, you're not leaving till Saturday at 11:59 p.m.
I am very curious how that post-production is going to flow. I don't think it'll be the exact same. And we're talking about that, right? Like, it won't be burning the candle at both ends with a team of how many? Like 15?
Dude,
I don't know.
it was a tiny
like
group.
10 people.
Super small, right? But I also don't think that they're going to be like, here's $100 million and you can
Hire as many people as you
contract 30 different VFX studios.
Well, I don't
right?
think he's going to want to.
No, I don't. But because they have the same coordinator, I don't think they will. I do think that is going to expand to maybe, hey, we're working with Weta or
a couple studios here to try to help
ILM or
us.
someone, right?
Yeah.
Like, they have the money to work with some of the best.
Yeah.
But also still have that very personal one-on-one connection with the people who are, as overseers.
My hope is that they don't overdo it, because I really, really love visually how -1 looked.
Yeah.
It's not always perfect, but visually it very much has its own style, and I would really like, assuming this is some sort of follow-up or whatever, I'd like that style to stay. However, whatever that team decides to make, I trust, because -1 is one of the best movies I've watched in recent years. So.
Yeah. So good.
This is something Brett.
Me.
You sent to our little chat.
Oh, yeah.
I did?
We're getting AI Peter Cushing.
Again?
Oh, yes.
Or I guess the first one was a deep fake. Is that considered AI, though? It was terrible.
Yeah, it was so bad.
He's being brought back from the dead.
Dude, the clip of him walking across the deck in Rogue One will forever, like, haunt my nightmares. Like, I said it walks across. I can't even say he. Like, it walks across the deck, and I was like, ugh. But why are you moving like that?
Yeah, it's a Wow. It's a documentary. It's a documentary that follows the story of film production company that developed an iconic series of classic gothic horror and fantasy films. And he's
and they need him for some reason.
He's a guy in it.
Okay.
Just cancel the entire thing now.
Please don't.
Yeah, we don't need it.
We don't want it.
We don't need it.
But yeah, those are the two movie stories I had.
Cool. I'll take one game story. You want to take the other?
Yes. You go first.
I'll take the Wolverine one.
Okay.
Marvel's Wolverine at Insomniac. Their game director left.
Oh, no.
And has joined the Xbox team. Will be leading Perfect Dark. Which is really strange because that's pretty far along to be jumping in on. But, yeah, it's a choice. But the Ratchet and Clank team will be taking over Wolverine. This is Marcus Smith is the creative director, and Mike Daly is the game director.
Dude, Ratchet and Clank was so good.
They did Rift Apart.
I wonder, yeah.
Which, I mean, they were already Insomniac people, so they know the culture, they know how they work. I think the impact is bigger on the Xbox side than it is on the PlayStation side.
For sure.
And I don't say that like, oh, this is bad for one or the other. I just think you have, Insomniac's pretty well insulated. They have several teams.
Yeah.
They're able to just move some people over who already know how Insomniac functions. So, like, you're not really going to have a ton of change, maybe personalities, but
yeah,
Xbox is getting like a dude who's coming from a open world action game to a first person shooter, and it's
the numbers
culture
on that
shift is so
that
different.
They wrote to get him over there.
Yeah.
Because that's not like, hey, I'm leaving, and 6 months later, oh, I'm joining Xbox.
Right, it happened actively.
I'm leaving probably because I'm taking this job at Xbox.
Right.
Like, realistically, that sounds like what's happening.
Yeah.
With the timing. So, crazy. Which hopefully means that none of these projects are really in bad positions.
I don't think they are.
I mean,
Perfect Dark's been in development forever, but
we have gameplay of Perfect Dark.
Yeah, that's why I think it's so bizarre.
Yeah,
like, we had a pretty good trailer or gameplay trailer recently.
Like 3 minutes long of just
it's like pure
the
gameplay.
Person go around.
Yeah,
and I thought it looked pretty neat.
Yeah.
So it's just shocking to hear that a change like that is happening this late in that production cycle. But
well, there are usually
they maybe just be trying to push across the finish line. So.
I mean, and we've talked a lot about how in the past
what happened with the other director.
Yeah, because that's true too.
We didn't know about Marathon's game director.
Yeah.
For the longest time.
Could be like an HR thing. Yeah, it could be an HR thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
So no need to panic. I don't think. I think you're right. Both of those projects
they're in good shape.
In good shape, I think.
At this point. And if they're not, Wolverine's got more time in the incubator than Perfect Dark probably does. So.
Yeah.
The other gaming story. Pour one out for Firewalk Studios. It's gone forever.
Yeah.
That's
Sony
right.
shut it down.
We knew that was coming, though. Fortunately.
I wasn't sure.
I didn't think they'd shut it down. I figured they'd just be like, you're a support studio for the next 3 years until you get another chance.
I guess just with the budget, I wasn't sure how much they'd try. right? Like
You're now working on Marathon.
We've invested X amount of money into this team,
Yeah.
right? And this IP, this property, that's new. It came out of the gate rough. You know, would they be willing to give them another 12 months to make, maybe not even 12 months, 7 or 8 months to do a
free-to-play version of it?
I mean, I don't think you need to take that long to make a free-to-play version of it, but figure out what is that. Is there a way of incorporating this? People seem to be excited about the idea of like the story and the characters in a single-player sense. Is it possible to move this in that direction? And I assume those are the kind of conversations they had, and I say unfortunately, but I think unfortunately for the studio, the answer was, we're just going to take a tax write-off and
they'll live on through Secret Level.
Secret Level.
Secret Level.
But no, I don't know.
The studio's dead now.
If you loved the concept of what you thought that game was going to be, go play the Guardians of the Galaxy game.
Oh, it's so good.
Super underrated. Highly recommend it. Very, very good.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I believe
Great soundtrack.
I believe the Epic Game Store was just giving it away for free the other day.
Oh, wow.
So
Crazy.
sweet.
Any other news stories?
I don't think so.
Okay. Weekly updates. Things I did this week. Stephanie and I went to go see Venom: The Last Dance. Luke's review did not scare us away.
I mean, I guess I wasn't trying to scare you.
No.
Just inform.
Do you wish it had?
No. Look, it's not a good film, but Luke was right. I think Luke hit it right nail on the head. It was, for the most part, pretty entertaining. It had some really good moments.
Dude, the Area 51 fight scene was cool.
It was awesome. It was really cool. It loses its footing a little bit in the middle with trying to tie in these other storylines that
the caravan,
family. The scientists.
I honestly think it's fine if you just don't include the family.
Probably.
It's just like, okay, yeah, we have scientists who run this. They've got to be there.
Yeah.
And we've got Venom and Eddie.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
And then there's just this random family, and it's like, they don't need to be there at the end.
Yeah.
It's just...
I mean, overall, it's not like it's a well-written movie anyway, so, like, I feel like we're just...
Yeah.
We're...
Splitting some hairs?
Don't need to hit it too hard.
Yeah. No, it's probably, like, a straight to streaming for me, as well. I had a good time because my expectations were low. I had some good popcorn. It was a date night, always fun. So, yeah.
And I think I'm wondering if you agree with me about the Christmas Doctor.
The Christmas Doctor.
She was like the only character I actually liked.
Oh.
Because she,
like, the only one you would, like, root for?
No, that I like actually liked.
Like, was actually a good actress?
No, like
no.
Like the character.
I thought she was fine, but no, just like her character. It's like this is in every other superhero movie. This is a nothing character. They're in the first act. They're there a little bit in the second.
Yeah.
Then they die.
Yeah.
And they weren't that. And I liked that.
I get you. I get that. Yeah.
Like one of my two positives of the movie, and it's really the same scene because it's the Area 51 fight scene.
Right. Yeah. No, that makes sense. Yeah. I liked yeah. Again, she didn't have much to do, but that's okay. And when she wasn't as stereotypical as maybe one would assume.
I just I'd expect that character to be chewed up in the second act, and that's where you go.
Yeah.
And they have that little. The bomb goes off or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
No, they're actually relatively important to the story.
Yeah.
She had to make sure she left her Jordans there.
Yeah. No, there was some cool stuff. There was some neat
credits.
some neat transformations. The credits were
Credits were cool.
Credits were cool. The final post-credit scene sucked.
Which one was?
Where the guy runs out of the cave. No. Noel was the first post-credit scene.
Okay, this is the guy from Ted
bartender.
Lasso.
The bartender runs. Yes, he is in Ted Lasso. Yeah, he runs out of the cave.
It's pretty stupid, but it's also kind of funny. Just because he's like,
What?
Thinks the world has ended.
But yeah, I thought it was odd to try and set up tease a Noel movie at the end of this one.
I think the funniest part of the movie is the emotional montage. We're just like, I know what you're going for, and I hate to inform you, it's not working.
Not gonna work.
It's not working.
Not gonna work.
Everybody in the theater just going, oh, the movie's about to end. I will remember you. Was that even the song?
I don't know. Oh, yeah. Anyways, that's about all I did this week.
Man,
Nice.
you changed my mind. I'm batting it up to a Matthew McConaughey. No, it's a kid. It's a bad movie.
I'll quickly go. I DNF'd a book this week.
DNF'd?
Did not finish. I stopped reading it. So I was trying to check out Keanu Reeves and China Mayville's book, The Book of Elsewhere. I was about 75, 80, 100 pages in, somewhere in there, and I was reading and I couldn't quite figure out what was happening. And so I took a pause and I said, let me try to summarize what I've read in this book so far to myself. And I realized that I couldn't.
Oh no.
I was very confused. It's third person present tense, and it's changing perspectives through about 3 to 4 characters. And I was just very lost. So I only tell you guys this because I'm here to say, if you are reading a book and it's just not clicking for you, it's okay to
not
put
finish.
it down and read something else.
There you go.
Show too.
It took me a very long time to do that for books, games, movies, shows. Yeah,
I have a little more trouble with games doing that.
I don't now. I did for a bit, but
I do. Games are $70. I'm playing that.
I just do the free-to-play ones.
I am finishing it, and I am going to rip it for everything that I can find. I usually don't really dislike games that much, though. So
the other thing I did, new game came out this week on mobile, Pokemon trading card game Pocket. It is kind of blowing up.
Pokemon Go to the polls?
No.
Oh, okay.
It's a trading card game. It's
Pokemon
pretty fun.
Can't vote. You should know this, Brett.
Come on, it's Election Eve. I made a 2016 throwback.
You're out here spreading misinformation. That
Hillary Clinton Pokemon joke. That was...
Wait, she made a joke about Pokemon?
Yeah. She literally had we have to get them the Pokemon Go to the polls.
Oh, I don't think I was paying
Oh
that
my
much attention.
gosh.
I wish.
Guys, I worked so hard for that joke.
I wish. No, you didn't. I teed it up by saying a story that
I
you
know.
didn't know I was going to talk about.
You
I didn't
also
work hard
stole
for
it.
anything.
You also stole it. So did you work at all?
I also wish I'd never heard that joke in my life.
I'm going to show you the actual clip afterwards.
Please don't.
Yep, that was happening.
It's pretty cool. It's kind of blown up. It made $12 million in 4 days.
Wow.
I've not spent any real money. I don't know why people would do that, but
Are
some
you
people
even a
just
fan?
do it. What is happening?
Dude, those are the refs that
Oh, that help the Chiefs all the
help
time?
the Chiefs, and
Yeah.
they're wearing the blind sunglasses.
So that's all I did. But speaking of that, my coworker dressed up as a ref for Halloween. He's like, I just don't know how to finish it. I was like, you're a Chiefs fan, right? He's like, yeah. I was like, you should wear a Chiefs hat and say you're a Chiefs fan. And he was like, what do you mean? I was like, well, people say the refs help them all the time. And he was like, oh, yeah, that's pretty good. And I was like, yeah. But he didn't do that. He wore a hat that said referee instead. And I was like, Steve,
I would
why?
do a cooperative costume and have somebody dress up just as a coach.
Yeah.
And every once in a while come over and they just hand them fake money.
Like Monopoly money. Here you go. Or when you take the company picture, it's them exchanging cash. They're doing the drug deal handshake.
Just every 5 minutes up, you walk up and just dab
Yeah.
them. Clearly show that
It's
there's
just obvious.
It's oh, there's
a
nothing
crisp-
going on here.
gold 500 right there.
Yeah. But that's all I did. Luke?
I didn't do a lot this week. I mainly just played Destiny.
I think next week is the time to play Destiny, right?
It is?
Didn't they announce that they're fixing
fixing
of
Waygate?
the loot things?
Yeah.
Oh, they're fixing it?
You know what? Why do I have a feeling it's just going to be worse? There's my prediction.
You've been there a while.
I mean, the stuff they're fixing doesn't really impact me. It's mainly the new dungeon that people care about the most, and I haven't done it. So, but no, Festival of the Lost started this week, and you can the currency is candy. This is a holiday event.
Yep.
But you can buy exotic class items for characters you haven't unlocked it yet. So I've been mainly playing Hunter and Warlock and getting as many as I can.
Nice.
And it's been a lot of fun. I've been playing a lot of Warlock, Brett.
Warlock's great. Using the prismatic subclass. Yeah.
I've just spent as much candy as I can on getting as many exotic class items as I can.
There you go.
And it's been fun.
Nice. It's awesome.
I like that game.
Sweet. Okay. Last item on our things to talk about this week.
Dude, I saw this like 5 minutes ago on there.
Oh,
and
on the bottom?
I was like, oh, yeah. Forgot we were doing that.
Ominously, just if you're a listener of the podcast,
yeah,
we have a little lower a bar that kind of talks about all of our trailers, reviews, news, updates, and then the last one just says the future.
Scary times.
Scary times. Yeah. So I don't know. I was gonna write up something, and then Luke reminded me that we're the What the Fanboy podcast.
We've never written anything for the show.
The only thing that's ever been written for the show was back when I was doing the Streaming Wars.
Yep.
I wrote those out, and we haven't really done it since. So it would be in.
You should do a Streaming Wars update
for the last show.
Oh,
teaser.
Maybe.
Yeah. So here's the deal. At the beginning of this year, I'll just give everyone kind of a backstory. As I am moving more into filmmaking and wanting to pursue those things more, I made the decision that this was going to be my last year on the podcast. From that, we've kind of had discussions, and essentially what we're going to do is we're going to finish out this year, going as it is now with the live streaming, with the podcasts. The podcast will still exist. We just won't be updating it regularly. I'm more or less taking a step away. That's my decision, but I'll let Tyler and Luke talk about what their decisions and what their future in kind of contributing to what the Fanboy will be, is kind of in their, how they envision it. So Tyler, why don't you go next?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I help Brett with a lot of that stuff. That wasn't necessarily the motivating factor for me. If you've followed along for the last 3 years, I'm big into like the dad thing.
Yeah.
And so I really just want that extra time to spend with my family.
Yeah.
And as well, recent developments career-wise, I've kind of gotten myself promoted into positions of importance, and I'll have to travel now, and so like those opportunities to be with my family are, going to be impacted by that, and so
they're even more valuable now.
Yeah, so maximizing that time for me while my kids are still pretty young is really my main motivator.
Yeah.
As far as like moving forward, we've kind of talked about like a website and maybe some writing and maybe occasionally getting back together to record something here and there. And I'm happy to do that kind of stuff moving forward. But for me, just the spending time with my kids is my top priority moving forward. So
absolutely, Luke.
I guess I'll probably write stuff for the website.
Yeah.
Like more
because I can't podcast by myself.
I could. You could.
No.
It's just
I don't
hard.
think I could. I'd get
tough.
distracted by watching the Chiefs, and I'd just be sitting here for 5 minutes
on your mic. Like
this is your opportunity to use our base to launch your streaming career.
Oh my gosh!
Oh, dude, actually, that's genius. I don't know if you'd ever really want to do that.
I don't think I would be a good streamer.
I'm not.
Because to stream, you have to talk and play video games, and I can't do that.
Dude, I struggle, like, when I'm partied up with people and I'm playing, people are like, yeah, and then you see that, and I'm like, what?
Luke, you're muted. Nope, I'm not. I'm just not talking. I'm literally putting all of my effort into playing this very complicated video game. But we still have the website.
Yep.
So there'll be.
It hasn't been
there.
updated in a hot minute, like
the website will
at
probably
least a year. But
I'd say if we do it, the website will be more busy than the YouTube.
Yeah.
Or the Anchor.
Yeah.
RSS feed. So.
Yeah. The audio versions of the podcast, the video, whatever gets posted to YouTube and or lands in your podcast feed is probably going to go pretty dark unless there's like, hey, we all went and saw Brave New World and we really want to talk about it.
Yeah.
Then we may hop back on for an episode and then it'd be dark again.
Yeah.
But even that's still very much up in the air.
Yeah, it'll definitely be like a case by case.
Case by case. And it may not be all three of us, right? It may be one of those things where if Tyler's out or didn't even go see the movie,
right?
Maybe just Luke and I get together to chat about it, or maybe it's just a write up. Who knows? There's a lot of moving pieces.
See my Instagram
or not moving
story
pieces.
from Letterboxd. 3.5 stars. It was fine.
But I think what
it's like 50 reviews a year of it was okay, it was good, I liked it. Like
we've been doing this now since 2017. You guys have been doing it since 2017. I joined in 18, or did I join in?
Luke can like often pull the episode numbers out of his butt.
You jumped in episode 3. You were a guest.
That's true. I was on a
and then I think it was episode 40.
Yeah, it was around.
So within
40.
the first year.
Yeah, just under a year.
Yeah, but we've been doing this for 2017, so 7.5 probably years now. It has been an absolute honor and just fun.
Oh,
it's been a blast. We're not the group's not breaking up.
Yeah, no.
It's not because we don't love doing it.
It's because we can't kiss on stream.
It's mostly that. Is that we can't kiss on stream, but.
But yeah, no, I just wanted to extend, and we'll probably say
we'll
this
definitely
again
do more
in the last episode. But like, I want to thank you guys for including me. I want to thank anyone who's ever watched or listened, who's ever given feedback or commented in the chat. It's just been such an important part of the last 7 years of my life.
Oh yeah.
And really, I don't think I would have gotten the itch. I maybe would have had the itch. I wouldn't have scratched the itch to get back into filmmaking like I have and taken it as seriously as I am without this podcast and without knowing you two and knowing that you guys are like, were excited. Someone was excited to help me make a movie. Yeah. That just like blew my mind.
Yeah. I expect to see thank you, Luke, at the end of every
single one.
Yeah, he's in the thank yous.
For Luke. And Tyler. Well, you'll be second AD for Luke.
Just, yeah. No, we're just going to make it, everyone wonder, who is this Luke that he's always thanking?
You know how like...
Did he die?
It's like every book has like this one's for my mom at the beginning. But every film opens with a for Luke at the beginning. And there's always a character named Luke in there. It's like, what are we doing?
Yes.
No, for me, just I would extend and repeat a lot of what Brett's saying, minus the movie stuff. But if you've listened, watched, laughed at us, remembered all the awkward streams we've done, our first episode being one of the most embarrassing things ever.
Heck no. I'm proud of that.
Dude, remember when COVID hit and we had to switch to
recording from home and stuff?
Yeah, home.
So many crazy things. But for me, obviously, outside of the hangs and going to the movies and all that, this podcast brought me a lot of opportunity. We've gotten press passes. We've did a con where we recorded an episode at a Comic-Con.
That was crazy.
We've met Kevin Conroy, which was like, we met Batman, which is insane.
R.I.P.
For me personally, I was able to spin it into 2 football media jobs.
Yeah.
Which was really cool and something I never thought I'd have the opportunity to do. And a lot of that was driven by this show specifically, and just having, documented video of me speaking to a microphone on YouTube, and it got me, with the Takeover Network for about a year. And then I've done some freelance work for Bleacher Report, which I still do from time to time. Like, those are things I never would have had the chance to do. And I just find that really cool. So there will always be some part of me that, like, is indebted to this, right? Like, and I don't think I would have ever grown as close as I have with you two throughout, without this show. So, I gained 2 brothers out of it as well, which is great. So, very much going to look back on this era fondly.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like it too. It just made me care about movies a little more.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Kind of. I think it kind of, and for all of us, opened our critical eye.
Yeah.
Can kind of realize what's bad and what's actually good.
Yep.
Like Transformers 5, one of the best movies
Oh
ever.
my gosh.
I honestly don't think I ever would have said that before this.
Yeah,
I would have been like, yeah, it's bad. It's horrible. It was the worst one. It's like, no, be proud of what you like.
Yep.
But yeah, Monday nights has been the best day of the week for me. Yep. Like, people always gotten case of the Mondays and hate Mondays. Mondays are the worst. Actually, Monday's my favorite.
Yeah, you look forward to it. Absolutely.
I got to survive the workday, sure, but I have 4 hours on Monday night.
Yep.
You get to hang out with your buddies.
It's party time, baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's great. And, like, I think what's nice, too, post the show, we will still have those Monday nights where we get together. Like, that's not going away in my mind. Like, we had one night off, and Luke and I did the Mystery Movie Monday at Regal. One of the coolest things I've ever done. I want to do more of that.
Yeah, we got to see an okay movie.
It wasn't bad, though. We were kind of surprised. Like, oh.
We walked out, we were like, okay.
Yeah, that wasn't too bad.
Right.
No, our Butler isn't an only trash.
So, like, I think, we'll have chances to do stuff like that still, too. So.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. No, I think it's, we're getting older.
Yeah.
It's not getting any younger.
Life changes, and
yep.
We've I feel like done a good job of tweaking the show here and there.
Yep.
As our lives have kind of demanded it, and I think we're just getting to that point where it's like there's just got to be a bigger shift.
Yeah.
And
the demand was
that's okay.
We needed something better for our butts throughout.
Yeah.
We had
I got you guys a couch.
We had those stools for so long.
Yeah.
Did long-lasting damage to my tush and spine.
I still think probably the best seats, it was the OG couch at your guys' at the
Nantucket house.
The Nantucket house with Chris, and
dude, it was comfy.
That was those were big, fluffy cushions.
That was Chris's couch. It was awesome.
Yeah. Shout out Chris.
Yeah, shout out Chris, one of the OGs.
He was the other OG that started with us.
Yep.
Shout out Buffalo Wild Wings.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. Yep.
But yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, all that to say...
We'll talk more about this as it nears.
Yeah, we've got 7 or so more episodes, so, like, we'd love for you to hang out with us as we kind of finish this chapter.
We have to finish our prediction game, though.
Yes, we will absolutely 100% finish the prediction game.
That means you have 7 weeks to beat Control.
Oh, shoot.
And it's the busiest time of the year.
Or I get to wax you.
That's right.
Bro, you think I haven't been waxed before?
I don't care. It grows back. It will still hurt.
Do we need to shave him? His wedding's this weekend. Shave him.
Shave him.
Rip.
I can be a difficult man.
Oh my goodness.
Waxing that too, though.
Oh.
I told you I'm waxing everything.
I would kind of be curious.
Everything but the eyebrows. I'm not cruel.
I'd be really curious to see what I'm look like bald.
As somebody who didn't have eyebrows for a long time, I'm never going to make anybody get rid of their
Go
eyebrows.
through that.
It was a dark time in Luke's life. It was like 6 years.
Too long.
It's actually still going on. It's why one of the reasons I wear glasses is because of my eyebrows. You can't see them right now.
Huh.
Fun fact.
Fun fact. You learn something new every day.
Yeah.
Well, cool. Okay, so yeah, like Tyler said, we'll talk a little bit more about some maybe if we have any concrete future plans down the line. But yeah, we'd love for you to hang out with us for the last handful of episodes. We're not doing anything too crazy. It'll be the normal show, but we'll definitely be looking back and thinking about
memories.
We'll be going down memory lane a little bit more.
Yeah.
And,
for sure.
If you hang out long enough, who knows? Maybe you'll get to see me get waxed. So, until next
wax
week.
Like an arm on stream.
And next week we'll be talking about Penguin for sure.
Yes.
I'm hopefully gonna get out and go see Heretic, because that's out
this weekend.
That's this weekend.
Ooh.
So there should be a couple fun things to review next week. And then we've got normal news and all that stuff. So until then, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. We'll see ya.